How's it going,
Oh,
Aubrey? How are
I'm
you?
great. How are you, Lindsay?
Good. Yeah, doing great. Aubrey, has anything really exciting happened to you lately?
Yeah, sure. The We got tickets to an ASU football game and a
Ooh,
Dodgers Diamondbacks game in the same week.
that's
And that's
amazing.
very rare. And they were both free. People are just like, "Oh, we can't use these tickets. Can you use
That
them?" I'm
is
like,
the
"Yes.
best. That
I'll go
is
to a
the
football game. I'll go to a
best.
baseball game." It
Yeah,
was so
I
fun.
love that. Oh my gosh, so good. So good.
It was really
Wow.
exciting. And this is interesting. I noticed you used happened to. Why didn't
Mm-hmm.
you say happened for? What's the last really exciting thing
Oh,
that happened for you?
that's a great question. So the idea is the event occurred. Well, how do I even explain
This is
this?
tricky. We're going to get into this today because we got a great question about this happen to versus happen
Mm-hmm.
for. And we
Yes,
do use them differently. And so, yeah,
we
we're going to
do.
dive
Yeah.
into this.
So we're going to dig into it. But first, I want to make sure we take a minute to say a huge thank you. We have some very important listeners to call out from Spotify who left us some beautiful reviews and comments. So thank you to Nadia Abzan on Spotify who
And
said,
that is today's question, actually. So Nadia
"Oh,
left today's
sorry, that is the
question. No, this
wrong
is great.
person."
Read this one as well, right? But
Should I
yeah,
go ahead and read that? Should I?
sure. Read our
Yeah,
question
I'm going to
first.
go ahead and read the. So Nadia left a question. So thank you to Nadia. So here's the question from Nadia. Thanks for the great podcast. I noticed in this episode you said it happened for me and not to me. When would you use for me? Very straightforward, but tricky, right?
Yes, and this was in
Mm-hmm.
Spotify. Thank you, Nadia, for leaving your question. You
Mm-hmm.
guys can also leave a comment in Spotify with a question.
Yes. And again, so before we get to answering that question, there are other amazing reviewers in Spotify. A special thank you to Ashkan Home, who said, Thanks a lot. I learned some nuanced English. And then Julia the Mendoza, she says, I love this podcast. And Francis Scolater says, I love this podcast. Best regards from Chile. Sounds like people love this podcast, Aubrey.
Yes, thank you for every comment, for every review. We read them, we appreciate them, and they do help other people find our podcast. So we
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yep. And also, huge thank you to UJ Lee and Gaga Baha from China on September 11th. Guys, leave us a review and a rating wherever you listen. We want to know what you think of the show. Okay.
Absolutely. All right, so let's answer Nadia's question here. This is interesting how sometimes we say it happened for me, sometimes
Mm.
we say to me. So we're going to dive into the difference. We'll start with happen to, which
Okay.
means occur, right? We use
Yeah.
this when something occurs to someone or something, often
Yes.
unexpectedly or by chance or
Hmm.
something that's beyond their control. Something just happens to us.
Yeah. That's why your example of getting the tickets for free was a good example. Your friend just
Exactly.
called you up and said, Hey, we have these free tickets. Do you want them? That happened to you, right?
Yes, exactly. Or someone might say, "What happened to your car?" Right? So it could happen to
Mm.
something as well, right? Something occurred,
Mhm.
something happened, and now the car's not running, maybe.
I know that happened to us actually. We went to a farmer's market a few weekends ago and just parked nearby and we got sideswiped. Some car came and just swiped the side of our car. $2,000 in repairs, Aubrey.
Oh
Crazy.
no. It's the worst when something like that happens to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was wild. It happened to us. Exactly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
unexpected, right? Out of our
Hmm.
control, just something just happens to us. Nothing we can do about it.
Hmm. Exactly. Any other examples we need to share?
Yeah, so everyone has that in case of an emergency number, the ICE number on your phone. You might
Mm-hmm.
say to someone, if anything happens to me, call my mom, right? Call
Right.
my partner. You have got that
Right.
ICE.
Yes, exactly. So that is the first meaning of happen to. It's occur. Something occurs to you, right?
Exactly. And interestingly, we use happen to with a verb in a totally different way to mean by chance or coincidentally. So you might
Hmm.
say, I happened to see her at the store yesterday. And that just means like I ran into her by chance.
Right. Or if you ever happen to be in the area, please stop by. So it doesn't mean that I'm assuming you're going to come to the area and try to contact me, right? It just
Yeah.
say if you find yourself in that area, please stop by and say hello.
Exactly. If you just happen to be there, you're doing something else, you're there for
Hmm.
another purpose, then come see me, right? Exactly. So we
Hmm.
use this happen to in both of these ways and both very Often. Since I planned this episode, I've just start noticing once I plan an
Ah,
episode and people say happen to constantly.
constantly.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now I'm curious about happen for. I feel like it might be a little less common. What do you think?
Yes, it is a little less common. This is
Okay.
about, it's like an event benefits someone or has a purpose for them. So,
Mm,
for
okay.
example, good things always happen for those who work hard, like they benefit in the end. One of the reasons we don't use this as often is it's a much more formal construction and
Okay.
it's sort of bigger, like broader about the world. I hope good things happen for me, right? It's almost more
Mm.
like about fate.
A little more wistful, a little more
Yes.
dreamy, maybe. Because we also could say, just to play devil's advocate, we could say good things come to those who wait. That's a common chunk, right? Or good things happen to those who wait, I guess we could say.
Yeah,
Um,
you could say that as well, right? And then
yeah.
sometimes these are
Hmm.
a little bit interchangeable when it's just
Hmm.
about like, I hope something occurs, right? I hope it happens
Hmm.
to me or for me.
Yeah.
The slight difference is when we're saying, I hope that happens for me. It kind of
Hmm.
has, like you said, a little more wistful, a little
Mm.
bigger, like, oh, I
Yeah.
hope, like, yeah, it's
It's
interesting.
like life stories, right? Like, here's another
Yeah.
example. Everything seemed to happen for me at once. I got a new job, met some new friends, and found a gym I love.
The other
It's
interesting thing here is it's often more of a positive connotation, right? If someone said
mm.
everything seemed to happen to me at once, I would expect them to be like, my car broke down.
Oh, it's a
I
victim
lost
mentality a
my,
little bit.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Happens
yeah,
to
yeah.
you. It's out of your control and it's usually negative, whereas something
Yes,
happening for you is positive.
I totally agree. I think that's a good differentiator right there. Right?
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also
Mm-hmm.
have this, sometimes bad things happen for a reason. This is sort
Mm-hmm.
of a common saying about, just generally, bad things happen, but maybe it's for a reason.
Yeah, yeah,
That's an
yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
chunk that we use.
Yeah, it's a common chunk, or you might hear everything happens for a reason, which I don't love that. I used to like that phrase. I don't love it anymore. It sounds kind of
Interesting.
trite to me. I don't know. It just simplifies things a little too much.
It kind
Puts a
of
bow
does,
on things a
right?
little too much, right?
Especially if you're like upset about what's happening and then someone
Yeah.
says that, it's almost dismissive of your
Yeah.
emotions about it.
And I also don't think everything, some things are just very random and there's
Right.
not necessarily a reason for it. That's my opinion.
Well,
But
that's a really interesting point that if you say that, it kind of says a lot about your view of the world, maybe your
yeah.
spirituality or religious. And a lot of people
Yeah.
would disagree if they think things are a lot more random. There's not this
Hmm.
bigger purpose to everything, right? So it's
Yeah.
interesting. You almost need to be careful who you say that phrase to, because if they have a
Yes.
very different outlook and view of the world, they might
Right.
disagree.
100%. Super interesting.
Interesting.
That could be
Yeah.
another episode for another day.
Right.
But we'll take a quick break and then we'll be right back. All right, Aubrey. So role play time because we know our listeners love it. Here we're friends and we're chatting while waiting for a class at the gym to start. All right.
Yeah. You want to start us out?
Yes. Hey, what happened to your phone? The screen looks cracked.
I dropped it yesterday. Luckily, it had a screen protector, so the actual screen didn't crack.
Oh, well, that's good. By the way, I happened to see your sister at the farmer's market this morning. She said she's moving to Seattle.
Yes, I'm super bummed she's moving. She just accepted a job there.
Oh, that's so far. I know you two are really close. You'll have to go visit.
I for sure will. I love Seattle, and I'm really happy this happened for her. She's been looking for a fresh start.
Nice. So we have a good mix here of happen to, happen for, and different reasons for choosing them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, what happened to your phone is the first thing you
Mm-hmm.
said. This is that first meaning, happen to meaning occur. This is an
Right.
effect, right?
All the action comes to your phone. Your phone is like the victim. Right.
Exactly. And
What
we would
happened to your
never
phone?
say what happened for your phone, right? No,
Never.
because
No,
first of all,
no.
that's positive, and this phone just cracked.
And the
And it's
phone's an
more
object, right? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
can't happen for an inanimate object.
Yeah, most of the time that's true. So then you said, or I said, oh, well, that's good. By the way, I happened to see your sister at the farmer's market. So this is that coincidental piece, right?
Yes. And this is really interesting how it's in past tense here because you saw her at the farmer's market this morning. So I happened to see her. But when we're saying it, I wonder if listeners are wondering how this
Mm.
was spelled. Is this past tense? Because you don't really hear the D. I happened
Hmm.
to, the T of to really takes
Mhm.
over, and the D
Mhm.
is elated. There's elision here. So I
Good.
happen to see your sister. You don't hear that D at all. And it's kind of hard when you're speaking to tell that it's in past tense.
Oh, yeah. And if that's something that's challenging, that is covered in our pronunciation course, which is out right now. So go over
Exactly.
to allersenglish.com/pronunciation to get everything you need for that. Good
Yes, there
stuff.
are lessons on every type of speech pattern, elision,
Mhm.
assimilation, all of these things that we do that make speech more natural.
So good. So good. And the last thing we said here was you said, I for sure will. I love Seattle. And I'm really happy this happened for her. Now we're telling life stories. We're talking about a narrative of someone's life, the arc of someone's life, the events that happen. Right.
Exactly. And this is something positive that happened
Mhm.
for her. We wouldn't say happened to her. That would sound strange because then it's something that's like out of
Yeah.
her control and just happened, that often would be maybe negative. For something
Most
like
of the time.
this,
Yeah.
yeah, I would
Most of
say
the
happened
time.
for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Negative or probably like dramatic. I think that's a good breakdown, Aubrey, what you said. Happen to is often negative or dramatic. Or I guess you could say like you won the lottery. I can't believe this is happening to me. I guess you could say that, right?
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
interesting.
dramatic,
But so, it's
right?
interesting too. Something like this, that she got this job, it wasn't totally out of her control. She still worked for it. She
Mm-hmm.
did well in the interview, right? So we're like, I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
this happened for her. It's like good things are happening because of all the work she put in. If we
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm really happy this happened to her, that's
Yeah.
discounting all of the effort she put in and making it sound like it was this random chance.
That's a good point. It takes away all the agency, right? All the actions that she's done. That's a good point too. So it's like,
Yeah,
what is the
interesting.
center of action? Or like what, yeah, who's causing the action?
Yeah, interesting. So I think some pro tips here for our takeaway. If you want to use to, it happened to me. This means you were affected by it, and it was probably out of your control. It happened
Mm-hmm.
for me means it worked out in my favor. It was meant
Mm-hmm.
to be. It's usually a
Mm-hmm.
more positive
More
connotation.
positive thing. Yeah, I like that breakdown. That's perfect. So, yeah, these are little grammatical things, but they're not that little because as you can see, they do change the meaning. They change like the feeling, the vibe behind what you're trying to say, which does affect connection, Aubrey.
Yes, and these are really great for connection conversations to share things
Mhm.
that randomly happened to you, which are interesting, or these amazing life-changing moments of things that happen for you.
Ooh, so exciting. I bet our listeners could have some great conversation starters just based on
Absolutely.
today, some things you could open a conversation with someone. So good.
Yes, exactly. Just like at the top of the episode, right? When you said,
Yeah.
what's the last really exciting thing that happened to you? I want to ask
Yes.
that to everyone I know. Like, that's
I
an interesting
know.
answer.
It's a great party opener question, right? Conversation
Yes,
starter.
absolutely.
All right, great stuff today, Aubrey. Guys, hit the follow button and don't forget to check out our pronunciation course, which is live right now. It's all about clear English speaking. Go to allersenglish.com/pronunciation. All right,
Awesome. I will see you next time, Lindsay. Thank you.
take care. Bye.
Bye.